You ever look at your bank account and just sigh? It's this weird paradox, right? You're making decent money, maybe you even got a raise, but that feeling of financial stress just doesn't go away. 6 months later, it's like you're right back where you started. Well, today we're going to dive into a century-old Japanese philosophy that says the problem isn't what's in your wallet, it's what's in your head.
All right, let's get right to it. We're going to pull back the curtain on the real reason for all that money anxiety. I'm guessing it's probably not what you think it is.
It is just the most frustrating feeling, isn't it? You think, if I just made a little more, everything would be fine. But money isn't just about math. It's so deeply tied to our emotions and our habits, and until you get a handle on the behavior, the math is never, ever going to work out.
And this slide just nails it. We love to blame the stuff we can't control, our salary, the economy. Oh, I just need a better app. But the real problem? It's inside us. It's that our attention is scattered, our spending is on autopilot. We're basically financial sleepwalking through our lives.
So, what's causing this sleepwalking epidemic? Well, ironically, it's the very thing that's supposed to make our lives easier, convenience. Let's take a look at how our slick, modern financial world is actually kind of working against us. And this right here, this is the heart of the issue. The whole Western world is obsessed with making things frictionless. Tap to pay, Face ID, one-click buy, it's all about speed. But the Kakeibo philosophy says, whoa, hold on. That friction, that little moment of pause, that's not the enemy. That's exactly what you need. Let that one sink in for a second. When you tap your phone to buy a $5 coffee, the physical action is exactly the same as when you buy a $500 gadget. It feels the same. And because it feels like nothing, we start spending like it's nothing.
Think about it like this. When you have an app that tracks every penny for you, you're not the driver of your financial car, you're just a passenger. You're just looking in the rearview mirror at all the turns you already made. But Kakeibo wants to put you back in the driver's seat. And the driver? The driver has to be awake.
So how do we wake up? How do we grab the steering wheel? This is where the magic of Kakeibo comes in. It's not some complicated system. It's not a diet for your bank account. It's just a simple, incredibly powerful way to wake up your brain. So, Kakeibo. It literally translates to household financial ledger. And get this, it was invented way back in 1904 by Hani Motoko, who was actually Japan's first female journalist. So cool. Its power isn't really in the tracking itself. It's in the mindfulness that the tracking forces you to have.
Now, there's some real brain science behind why this works. The physical act of writing by hand actually lights up a part of your brain called the reticular activating system. It's a much more complex process for your brain than just tapping a screen. You literally cannot write down dinner $80 without your brain going, okay, yep, that just happened. And in that little moment of awareness, everything changes. That $80 dinner stops being just a number on a bill. You start to see what it really is, a trade-off. It's a piece of your life. Maybe that was 3 hours of hard work you just traded for that meal. And the pause forces you to ask, was it worth it?
Okay, so this all sounds good, but let's get practical. How do you actually start? You don't have to flip your whole life upside down. Kakeibo is all about small, simple actions. And here's one you can literally start doing the second this is over. It's called the 24-hour delay. It's so simple. The next time you get that itch, that impulse to buy something you don't truly need, just stop. Don't put it in your cart, just grab a piece of paper, write it down, and walk away. That's it. Wait one day. So what happens when you do this? This is the wild part. About 80% of the time, that burning, I have to have it feeling, it just evaporates. It was never a real want. It was just a momentary impulse, maybe a reaction to being bored or stressed out. See, what this delay does is it gives your logical, rational brain a chance to catch up with that fast, impulsive, emotional brain. It's a lot like the Japanese concept of harahachi-bu, eating until you're 80% full. You're just giving your brain a little space to realize, hey, you know what? I think I already have enough. And this all leads to what I think is the most profound part of the Kakeibo method. It is a complete rewiring of how you think about the word budget. Most of us, especially in the West, we hear budget and we think of a cage. It's a list of all the things we can't do, all the things we can't have. Kakeibo says, no, you've got it all wrong. A budget isn't a cage, it's a garden. Its job isn't to restrict you, it's to help you protect and cherish what's most important. Think about it. When you pull weeds from a garden, you're not destroying it, you're protecting it. You're clearing out the junk so the things you actually want, the flowers, can grow. By cutting out the mindless spending on stuff you don't even remember buying, you're protecting your resources for the things you do care about, like a trip, or your freedom, or just peace of mind.
And this ties in so perfectly with the Japanese aesthetic of wabi-sabi, this idea of finding beauty and richness in simplicity. A cluttered life that's fueled by impulse and debt isn't a rich life. A life where you own fewer things, but you absolutely love every single one of them? Now that is true wealth.
And that's really the whole point of this. The goal of Kakeibo isn't to make you a millionaire. The goal is to make you feel calm. It's to help you get off that exhausting treadmill of more, and find that quiet, solid ground of enough.
Look, this isn't some life hack or a quick fix. It's a practice. It's about slowly building a foundation so solid that the financial storms of the world can't shake you. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. You've probably spent your whole life chasing more.